All right, we are live. That's deep. Not even sure what episode we're on, but we've had a good run here lately. Our prelim cards have been absolutely dominant. Main cards, not so much. A lot of bad luck. We got a March Madness going on, Johnny. We've had a good day so far. If you were following along, today we went live. Well, these guys went live, and it's been a good day in March Madness. Johnny, how you doing today?
Doing well, doing well. Great day. A lot of fun basketball. Made some money. Ready to talk some UFC.
Yes, sir. We've got some sweats going on now still, but we've got 13 fights here on this card. So let's just jump right into it. We've got, if I can pull it up here. Our first fight of the night is in the heavyweight division. Bit of a slop fest, I'd like to call it. Got Mick Parkin taking on Muhammad Usman. Usman, the dog here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, typical heavyweight slop fest. Yeah, I really don't like either guy. Really, I mean, I guess Usman. I mean, he's got the grappling upside. He's definitely got the power. Cardio is definitely in question. I'm not too sure about his cardio. But I mean, if he can get land takedowns here, I'm not high on Parkin either in his cardio. He looked kind of
Yeah.
terrible in his last fight. In this situation, I'm gonna have to go dog or pass because yeah, Nick Parkin. I expected more from him, but I mean it's sloppy heavyweights. But yeah, it's gonna be dog or pass for me here. I think if Usman can get the takedowns and kind of lay on him, then I think he could have some success.
Yeah, I agree. My original thought, I always look to fade Usman. Obviously, it's burned me in the past because the guy just keeps finding a way to win. But yeah, you go back and you watch the tape. Mick Parkins, his cardio is not that great. His striking is not that great. He's sloppy. When it all boils down, I think Usman is the side here. I really do. I think he can win the grappling, and if it stays on the feet, they're both pretty bad. So I'll roll the dog here to start the card off.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm on a lot of dogs actually this week, so it's gonna be an interesting card for sure.
Yeah, another one of these sloppy Apex cards.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, a lot of the fights on this card, a lot of close odds. It should be good. It should be fun. But our next fight in the flyweight division, we've got Igor Severino taking on Andre Lima. Two debuting fighters. Not a whole lot to go off with either one of these guys. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, two debuting fighters, but I think two guys that have some potential. I think they're going to stand there and bang. This one is going to be a Brock'em Sock'em robot kind of fight. Uh, Eileen Lima probably catches him. I like the under 2.5 as a parlay piece. Um, or what's the line? I think the line's 1.5. Yeah. I like the 2.5 by itself at -130.
Yeah,
So
that's not bad.
yeah, I think this is just going to be a war, and whoever lands first is going to probably put each other out. So I think it probably ends in the second or first round. So yeah, I like the under 2.5 here.
Yeah, I
No
like
strong
that.
conviction on the side.
My official pick for the fight is Severino. I like his composure. He's solid. He's just a solid fighter. Um, I felt like the composure was kind of a differentiator between these two, but again, I mean they're both good. Uh, Lima's explosive. There's a lot of danger here, so I agree with you. Somebody's probably going to get clipped. This probably isn't going to be a very long fight. It'll be fun to watch. Officially, I'm on Severino, but I'm not. This is just going to be a barn burner. So, two debuting fighters. There's not too much to to get into here. I think it's just going to be a war.
Yeah, it should be a good one to watch. No conviction on a side, violence. I like.
Yeah, violence is the play.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on. We are in the women's bantamweight division, I believe. We've got Montserrat Rendon taking on, it's a tough name to say, Daria. I tried to.
You
I
just
tried
go
to write.
Daria. Just go
I tried to
Daria.
write this out so
Yeah.
I can say the last name well. Zalesnet. I can't even say it. Daria. What are your thoughts here?
I don't have a strong opinion here. I didn't look too much into this one. It would be dog or pass. I got nothing here.
Yeah, I'm on Daria here. Again, she's making her debut. Yeah, she mostly KO finishes for her. But this is one that if I'm going to do anything with it, I'm probably going to look a little bit more into this fight to see if there's any kind of value, maybe with an over/under finish prop type deal. But yeah, this is a tough one for sure.
Yeah, I've got nothing here.
All right, so we'll just move along. Got a featherweight bout here. Jarno Aarons taking on Stephen Wynn. If I can pull it up, there we go. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I like Wynn. I like his striking. I'm not a fan of Aarons. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's UFC caliber. And Wynn is from what I've seen of him, he looks like he's got good power, decent striking. Yeah, I like Wynn here. I think Wynn probably wins, maybe a decision, or maybe a late finish, maybe round 3 or decision will be a way I look. Yeah, but I like Wynn.
Yeah, I agree. I like Wynn too. Aarons is just another one of those tough guys. Probably good for the regional scene. He can take some punishment, but he can be taken down. He can be held down. Wynn can do that. He can take him down, hold him down, beat him up on the ground. Just overall, I just think Wynn's the better fighter. He's dynamic. He's got 4 wins by KO. He's got 3 wins by sub. So he could win this fight anyway. I think he could find a finish in this one.
Yeah, I lean a knockout, late knockout probably.
Yeah, I mean, Aarons is
like
more
round
of a
3.
He's more of a survivor type. And at some point, those guys just get flushed out of the UFC. He's a tough kid, but skills are lacking for sure.
Yep. Win for me.
Yeah. All right. So our next fight is in the. Got the wrong screen. Here we go. Bantamweight division. We've got Miles Johns taking on Cody Gibson. I like Gibson here. I like the volume with Gibson. Johns coming off a USADA suspension, so I don't know what he's gonna bring to the table. Obviously, USADA is no longer a thing, so he could still be on whatever he was on. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so the thing was he tested positive he had a cocaine. I think it was a cocaine positive test.
Oh, I thought he tested for like
No, I thought it was cocaine I had seen, and then he went on this big Twitter rant where it's like I didn't test positive for cocaine and whole kind of crap. But yeah, that was the last we've heard from him. I think it was a substance.
okay,
But yeah,
so
I like Cody Gibson here too, though. I think he's just a grimy. He's gonna be there. He's a warrior. He's gonna put the volume on. He's gonna have the pace. He's gonna be there for 3 rounds. Johns, I question a little bit his cardio when it gets later into the fight, and I think Gibson will be there the whole way. Yeah, I like taking the dog here.
Yeah, see, that's my thought too. Johns not very big on the volume. He does have solid wrestling, so
he's got good power too. He could clip him, but
yeah, he definitely has power, and we've seen that come through a few times for him, especially late in fights. But I don't know, man. This Gibson kid seems tough, and His
Yeah, he was in the
debut in the UFC,
UFC.
I thought he had a knee injury. I don't know if he did or not, but I'm pretty sure he did. And he looked great.
Well, he's a previously from way before, and then he came back to tough.
Well, yeah.
He's fought
After the
Aljamain
Ultimate Fighter,
Sterling. He's fought Aljamain Sterling,
right?
and then he had a couple close losses too. He went like 1-3 in his first stint, I think,
Right.
and they cut him.
Yeah.
And then he came back on tough, and he had a good showing. He was in against Katona in the main event of the tough finale, and he put on a war, and they re-signed him.
Yeah,
So,
going into that fight, I'm pretty sure he had a knee injury. So I was on Katona, and that worked out for me. But he put on a hell of a show. Like that kid was there for the whole fight and put up a ton of volume. And the way I see this fight is if Johns doesn't get him out of there,
yeah, Gibson's fought. He's fought good competition. He's fought John Dodson. I watched that fight. He had a good showing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Gibson here.
And Dodson's a similar opponent too. Like, he's got that big KO power, not a ton of volume. So yeah, I like Gibson here. A lot of reasons to like him.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on. Featherweight bout here. We've got Ricardo Ramos taking on Julian Erosa. This one was I originally thought I was going to be on Ramos, but I don't know, man. I feel like Erosa's aside here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can't back Erosa here. I have real questions about his durability. If he gets tapped on that chin, it could be nights out. I can't trust his durability. I backed him before. He's let me down.
Yeah.
Ramos, he's gonna come at you, man. He's got power. He's a great finisher. Yeah, but Erosa's a dog. Like he's a dog, man. He's a warrior, but I just have real questions on that chin, man. I think eventually Ramos finds the chin and puts him away. So yeah, Ramos for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what was my original thought as well. But both of these guys have let me down in the past. Ramos, he's very good. He's got strong wrestling. He starts fast. But my thing is here, if he can't get Erosa out of there early, I think he pushes a heavy enough pace. His cardio is going to be better. And I honestly, I think he could find a finish in this fight as well. As the dog, I don't like backing either one of these guys as a favorite, to be honest with you. But as a dog with Erosa, I think the volume will be better. I think the cardio is going to be there. So I like Erosa. Again, I mean, he could get flatlined within the first minute or two of this fight. But I think the longer this fight goes, the more Erosa becomes the favorite. Could be a live betting spot, but for now, my official pick, I'm going to be on Erosa.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think Ramos finishes him.
You know what? And he very well could. In this card, there's a lot of fights on this card where I could see either side. But yeah, we're on opposite ends of this one. But I think the later the fight goes, Erosa gets to him. But again, Ramos is dangerous early for sure.
Yeah.
All right, our next fight is in the. If I can pull it up here, behind on everything. The lightweight division, we've got Trey Ogden taking on Kurt Holloway. Two very similar guys, pretty good grapplers. Striking is, both guys can strike, but not the greatest. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think Trey Ogden sucks. I don't think he's very good. He's had some surprising wins against. He beat Zell Huber. He was smashing Moda. But I don't know, man. It's like he's very low volume, and he'll just stand there and he won't do very much. He'll take you into his kind of fight that he wants. Um, I see it hard here for him having any kind of grappling success. I think the volume is going to be low, and I like Holloway's game. I like his striking game. He throws a decent amount of volume. Um, Grimy, older vet that can. I mean, he's got good submissions. He's got a good guillotine. I think Ogden is here for the taking. I like the dog.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm a big Kurt Holloway fan. He trains with my team. He's in Louisiana, so I've never trained anywhere near him, but Team Jacau, so I've always been a backer of him. But yeah, Ogden, he's got a very high fight IQ. He's smart. He knows how to win fights. But I just think Holloway he's going to be the guy that's coming forward. He's going to push the pace. And Ogden wants to get the fight to the ground. He wants to grapple, not necessarily the way you want to beat Holloway. I mean,
I don't think he wants to get it to the ground and grapple. I think he's perfectly fine with standing up and throwing a low volume striking affair.
You could stand there and jab all day, but
I don't think his grappling is very good.
No. But, well, I mean, I guess the Mota fight makes sense why he would want to grapple, because Mota obviously has the knockout power. But, I mean, I don't think he's going to stand there and jab Holloway all day. You know, Holloway is going to come forward. And,
Holloway is going to be the one putting the pressure, walking forward. He definitely doesn't have finishing capabilities, Ogden.
No.
So take that out, and I think Holloway, the finishing upside is definitely on the Holloway side.
I agree. And Holloway's a dog, man. He'll go for it. He will throw bombs on the feet. Striking isn't the greatest, but he does have some solid striking, and he will throw bombs, and he will try to push a pace. So, yeah, I mean, I like Holloway here. I've always been a backer of his, and this is a fight where he should get the job done.
Yeah, like him.
All right, our next fight is in. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Is in the the featherweight division. We've got Fernando Padilla taking on Luis Pajulo, and is Pajulo making his debut as well? Yes.
Yeah, he's off the Contender Series. Yeah.
What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think this is going to be another great fight, another war. Yeah, but I like Padilla. I like Padilla's striking. But I don't know. I think I like the under here too. I lean Padilla to get the win and probably knock him out. But this Puello kid, I mean, he's got great cardio. He trains he's in Peru, so they got a different elevation. His cardio is off the chain. The volume is good. His striking is good. Man, I like Padilla. I like his striking too. This is gonna be a great fight. I think I like this fight. I think it's gonna be a war. Two guys going at it, and I think I like Padilla here. I think Padilla gets the job done.
Yeah, so this is another fight where, oddly enough, neither one of these guys have been finished, but I think we do see a finish.
Yeah, just the styles they fight.
Yeah, they're both gonna come forward. I like Pajulo. The difference I think between the two is Padilla, while he's never been stopped, he does seem like a guy that can be hurt. He's been wobbled a few times, never been really dropped that I've seen, but there's been a few shots that he's taken where, you know, I feel like he's a little bit wishy-washy. And Pajulo, he's going to push the pace. He's going to come forward. I think he can hurt him, make it just a grimy fight, force a war. And I think I just think he comes out the other side a little bit better. But again, you know, he's making his debut, so it's tough to know what he'll be. you could get a great first round and then falls off a cliff. But I don't know, man. I think he's tough. I think he pushes the pace. I think he can get the job done here.
Yeah, great fight.
And again,
I like it.
neither guy's been finished, but I can see the under in this fight for sure.
Yeah, I like the under here. I like violence. Yeah, just the two styles these guys fight at.
Yeah, these guys are going to go for it for sure. All right, our next fight is in the featherweight division. We have Billy Quarantillo taking on Yusuf Zalal. Zalal is returning. He's had 3 fights outside of the UFC. Oddly enough, the last fight he fought was against an 0-0 fighter, which was pretty weird. I don't know who set that up, but
weren't they like kickboxing matches though, or like?
What the last one I saw was an official MMA bout, which was
he fought like 3 fights in one night, didn't he?
Well, I know he did like a kickboxing fight, a boxing fight, and then maybe an MMA fight. So maybe the MMA fight was part of it. I don't know, but it was weird because on his official record, the last guy that he fought is 0-1 now. So that was.
Yeah.
What we hit? What'd you get?
No, just rebound. I needed that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Zalal is a tough kid. He's a tough out. Obviously, we saw him in the UFC. Fought a lot over the COVID stretch where 2020, 21, and then the UFC released him. Now he's back. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I got some real questions about Billy Q's durability. I don't know. Yeah, I think Zalal is probably going to be the better striker here, better volume. I don't know. I got questions about that Billy Q chin, man. He's just been through some wars, man, and they catch up to you, man, and it might be catching up to him. I'm not sure. Billy Q, he likes to come on late in the second and third rounds. But I think Zalal his cardio is good. He's pretty good at striker. We've seen in the Topuria fight, he gave Topuria a decent fight. He was actually favored over Ilia Topuria, if you believe that. He opened as a favorite. Crazy. So, I'm going to have to side with Zalal here. Initially, I thought going into before the tape, I thought it would be Billy Q for me. But, yeah, after the tape, I think this is going to be a super close fight. And I lean the striking of Zalal to come out on top.
Yeah, I like Billy here. I think over the course of a longer fight, he'll be the more active guy. The one thing, I've always been a Zalal backer, and the one thing I didn't like about him was that as fights went long, he looked for takedowns. Even if he wasn't getting them, he would kind of hold guys up against the cage. Which, obviously that could be why he got released in the first place, because his fights kept going to decisions. I do think he's a good fighter, but I think when push comes to shove, Billy's going to have the volume, and if he doesn't get finished, I think he wins this fight. I think he's the more active guy. His scrambles are pretty good. Just overall, I don't know. I've kind of soured on Zalal a little bit, just based on the fact that I was a bit of a backer, and he came through for me on a few occasions, but there's been just a lot of. I just thought fights that he should have maybe finished or made look better, that he didn't look, he didn't come through for me. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's some value on Billy Q here. I do think the fight goes long. I could see it going all 3 rounds, and I just feel like Billy Q's volume down the stretch is going to be better.
Yeah.
All right. So our next fight is in the bantamweight division. This is an interesting fight too. This is a really fun card. We've got Peyton Talbot taking on Cameron Simon. Talbot is the kid's a really good striker. His grappling, I mean, he can be taken down, but he does have pretty good get up game. Simon, solid overall fighter, solid wrestling. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I like Talbot here. I like Talbot's. I like his takedown defense. I like his get up game. I think he's a good enough grappler. Striking, he's a way better striker than Simon. Um, yeah, I got questions about Simon if this fight gets later, if he's trying to grapple and he might use some of that energy. And I definitely think Talbot will be putting on the more volume, the more bigger shots. Yeah, I like Talbot here a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know, man. When I watch Simon fight, I just feel like he's a flyweight. I feel like he should be down a division, and he would be much better off. Um, like I said, Talbot can be taken down, but he does have a very good get up game. And it's not like he's just a guy that's going to be taken down over and over again. He's not easy to take down. Yeah, I just think his striking composure is very good. He pushes forward nonstop. I just think he's just the more well-rounded fighter of the two. The volume over the course of 3 rounds is going to be on the side of Talbot. Yeah, I like Talbot a lot here, and I do have questions about Simon. And like I said, I feel like he should probably be fighting me down a division, and I think he'd have some better success. I mean, obviously he's done well to this point. He's only got 1 loss, but I think as he gets further along in his career, he's going to face a lot of tougher matchups at that weight class, and he should probably be fighting at flyweight.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big Talbot guy here. Love Talbot. Love his striking. Love everything about the kid. I think kid has some great potential, and yeah, I think he probably gets the job done. Probably decision, if not maybe a later knockout.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right, our next fight is in the middleweight division, and we got a lot of question marks here. But yeah, this one's interesting. Edmund Shabazian taking on AJ Dobson. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Edmund Shabazian, the kid that came in with all the hype, starching everybody in round 1, but then ran into a big problem, and that was his grappling game. He got exposed by Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson. Yeah, he just got his grappling and cardio got truly exposed. If you can extend this fight and utilize your grappling as a weapon, he will gas. But if you keep it on the feet and it's a striking affair, he's elite striker, I think.
Yeah,
and he's got great power. But it's when guys take him later and utilize that wrestling. Now, can AJ Dobson do that? I don't know if he has the cardio to do that, or if the wrestling skills are there to kind of take over the fight and become like a wrestler like that. Right. His striking isn't very good. He's slow. He's got a little bit of power, but if he can somehow drag it later and utilize his wrestling, I can see him winning. But if it's on the feet, I definitely see Shabazian getting a finish here. Probably a spectacular finish.
Yeah, I agree. And Shabazian, he's tough because, I mean, we've seen him get exposed at a very high level. But again, when you look at the guys like Jack Hermanson, Fluffy Hernandez, Derek Brunson, like these are all guys that are brutal, good vets, durable, tough guys, good wrestlers. I just don't think AJ Dobson is that type of guy. Minus 200, minus 205 for Shabazian is not an ideal price at this point in his career. But I think Shabazian's the side here. I don't think Dobson can push the pace the way he needs to push it to get Shabazian out of there. I think the striking is head and shoulders in favor of Shabazian. I think Shabazian's the side here. I think this could be a nice. I know he got a win recently before that fluffy fight, but that was again against Dolce Lungambula, so it's not like the greatest of wins. But I think this could be a little bit of a coming out party for him. I think he's a much better striker, and I think his grappling is good enough to deal with what AJ Dobson's going to bring to the table. And I think Shabazian wins this fight.
And we haven't seen him in a while, so he could have been working on that grappling game.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen him for one in a while. You know, so.
Yeah, and his jiu-jitsu is not bad. Like he does have a ground game.
He's still a young kid,
Yeah.
so we think he came in young, and we had all this high hope on him, and like he's still young and could be making improvements.
He kind of had that Ronda effect where he came in like he was God's gift. He's the best guy ever. Brunson pushes him deep into that fight. Next fight's against Jack Hermanson. They're not easy fights. These aren't easy outs. But they're guys that if your cardio is not on point, if your wrestling's not on point, you're gonna get exposed. So I think this is a really good test, kind of for both guys. But I think Shabazian, with the skill set that he has, I think this is a great spot for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean the Shabazian side. Not sure how I'm gonna bet it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I like Shabazian.
All right, so we're moving right along here. We're to the co-main event. We've got another heavyweight bout. Carl Williams taking on Justin Tafa. Williams, a guy who wants to wrestle first. Tafa, a guy who wants to knock your lights out. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, Carl Williams, he's going to want to take this to the ground. We've seen him. That's what he's came into the UFC. He's been that kind of grapple first guy. He's got good power, but his wrestling, I mean, he took the wrestling in his Contender Series. He took the fucking elite wrestler and he made him look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's got some decent power. The striking isn't all there. I do have concerns if this is on the feet, but I can definitely see Carl Williams wrestle fucking him and just taking him down at will. But I do have questions about his cardio and him getting tired if he's doing that for the first 2 rounds, if he's just rinse and repeat, taking him down. I got questions if he gets tired later in the fight. And Tafa's that kind of Mark Hunt, plodding forward, throwing bombs, that tough Samoan guy that's going to be there with power at all times.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean Williams, probably round 3 or decision, but it wouldn't surprise me if Tafa starched him early or even late. No strong conviction, but I think probably Carl Williams, round 3 or decision. But, this is a tough one.
Yeah, I like Williams too. From a DraftKings perspective, he's not a big favorite. So if he does get that wrestling going, you could get a big score. I don't know, man. I don't think Tafa is – I don't think he's all that great. He definitely has the power. But he's another guy that has really – he's smashed some cans in the UFC. He's basically beat the bottom of the barrel when it comes to UFC heavyweights. And if he gets taken down, we don't know because we've never seen the guy get taken down. We have no idea how he reacts to that. But if he is getting taken down early, does he still have that power late? The one thing I do like about Williams is in his last fight. Now it was only against Chase Sherman, but Chase Sherman, Justin Tafa, I don't think there's a huge difference between the two. He did strike a lot in that fight. He struck. He stood on the feet for a good majority of that fight. He didn't take Sherman down over and over again. So, he showed that he can strike. Obviously, I don't think he should be standing and trading with Tafa. Tafa's definitely got the power to get him out of there. But overall, I'm generally going to side with the grappler in these type of fights, and I think Williams we could be getting a very buy low price here, especially on DraftKings. So I like Williams. I think it's a good value. I think he dominates most of the fight, even if he's just laying on him. I just think he's in control most of the fight, and I think he gets the job done. I'm not a big fan of Tafa, really either one of the Tafa brothers, but I just think he's low volume, not a guy that's going to push the pace too much, and I think Williams will be in good shape here.
Yeah, definitely like him DFS wise, takedowns, grappling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like William. I like him here.
All right, that brings us to our main event. We've got women's flyweight bout. We got Rose Namajunas taking on Amanda Ribas. This is a fun fight. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I like Rose. I think Rose is just better all around. I think it's pretty. Yeah, Rose looked good. I went back. I thought it was more one-sided, and I went back when I rewatched the Furo fight. With if Rose didn't break her pinky in the first like 90 seconds, I think it would have been a lot more competitive of a fight. But she still gave a good showing of herself. Yeah, elite striker, great power. And Ribas, she's been up and down in weight too, so this wasn't like she's not going to have a big weight size on Rose. Yeah, I question Ribas' durability. She's there to get hit. She's there to be had. Yeah, I could easily see a Rose KO here, probably in like round three KO.
Yep.
Just wearing her down, breaking her down, pace, volume. Yeah, I love Rose here. Rose parlay piece, Rose knockout. Yeah.
Yeah, the more I thought about this fight, like you go back to that Fiora fight for Rose, she did break her finger, but when the final tally was done, I mean, she still landed. She outstruck Fiora, and that's saying a lot. That's a very good striker, a good sized woman in the division. So I mean, that's actually a pretty good showing for Rose. And just she's got the 5-round experience, championship fights, all that. Ribas is a bit chinny. We know Rose has power. Rose can throw that head kick. Rose, she's just overall, I mean, she can land power from anywhere.
Yeah, we've seen that great head kick too.
Yeah, she's gone to war with Wei Li, who's an absolute savage. I mean, Wei Li is about as good as it gets. So the more I think about it, the more I like Rose. Just basically, just fight her game, just control it. Don't get caught in anything stupid. And I think Rose is the side here. I think she probably finds a finish at some point in this fight.
Yeah, I love Rose. Yeah, big Rose guy. I think I'm gonna have quite a bit of action on her.
Yeah, and I'm sure when it's all said and done, I probably will too.
Yep.
All right, so I mean, we kind of blew through this card. We got March Madness going on. We both have we got a few things.
A lot of things going on. Yeah, so it's kind of hard taping everything. I got through the tape. Kind of hard. I got kind of distracted here. We gave you what I got. Be here for the live show on Saturday. It'd be a lot more bets, a lot more stuff. So.
Yeah. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord, Nuke the House Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at TommyZ_MMA. I'm always retweeting everything Keg posts, so you can find the Discord link. And yeah, I mean, get in. We're gonna be live. You guys will be live all day tomorrow for March Madness. We'll be
Patreon
live.
For Patreon tomorrow. We'll be live.
Okay, that's a Patreon show. All right.
Yeah.
And then we got Xfinity and Trucks on Saturday, leading up to the UFC. Not sure which one of those shows will be Patreon or if any of those shows will be Patreon. But yeah, I mean, follow along. The live show is well worth it. If you're not in the Patreon, sign up. It's worth every penny. It really is. one weekend will pay for you for the month. But yeah, I mean, we're putting out everything we can. We're trying to give you the best content we can, and we've had a lot of success. So um, with that, we'll get back to our March Madness sweats, and good luck on Saturday.
Good luck. See you guys tomorrow. Patreon. See you guys Saturday. See you in the Discord. We're here.
Yes, sir.
Laters.